Today we are going to upgrade the fog lamps on our lovely Range Rover Sport here to LED ones. Now we have done a video with this before, but there was a couple of things we didn't like about the fog lights and about the wiring. Some of the guys in the US said the connector I've used to connect it to isn't the same in the US. So I've rewritten it all, I've learned, and we're going to have, this is like a V2 video. Okay, and we've got some different fog lights. So these are fog lights that have got two functions. They've got the LED, which is this main window here, and there's a little LED thing up there. So that's your fog light, and that gives you, we'll put the fog lights on and we'll look at it on the garage door here. And that gives you your low, down close to the floor fog light pattern. And then this funky little C-shape Osram do one very similar, is gonna come on. It's actually gonna come on when we indicate, and it's also gonna come on when we turn the engine on, like a DRL light. So they're sort of 2/3 in one, right? And we've designed these brackets, so when you get the fog light, you'll have a look in a minute. It comes with this bracket on it. You've got to throw this bracket away, and Julian has developed this super cool bracket. And there's two brackets, they're left-handed and right-handed. Okay, and when you do it, you make sure you get the right light. So when you look at this light, it did have LH and RH on it somewhere. I can't remember where it was. Let me just have a look. Right, I remember where it was. I knew it was there somewhere. Now, if you look at that circuit board we were looking at earlier with the actual LEDs on it, can you see it's got an R on it? Have you got that on the camera, do you reckon, Gary?
It's hard to focus.
It's hard to focus. But on that white circuit board in there, there is an R on it. Right, you're gonna have to believe me. So make sure you get the right hand bracket, which we've lasered right hand in onto the right hand light, and obviously then fit that into the right hand side of the car, which is the left hand side if you're looking at it, right hand side if you're driving it. So right, that's the first bit. Right. So we're going to have to assemble that onto there. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Right, what else are we getting? Well, there we go. So that's the bracket we'll swap over. And we've got to swap a bit of the adjusting mechanism over. But they come with connectors and everything. And that one has got a left on the circuit board. Again, we probably can't see on the camera. Gary's tapping away on the screen. Focus, you damn camera. Right. Oh, there we go. It's damn demonetizing. Right. And then we get this. Now we have had this out the box, so it will be a little neater in the ones you get. And this has got like a million wires. Okay, so that's another bracket.
That's stressing me out just looking at that.
Stressing you out? Gary, you need to relax more. It's all gonna be fine, right? So let's have a look. So those two wires there, they're going to go to the fog lamps. Okay. Now you'll notice one is longer than the other, so we're going to mount it on this side. So the short one is going to go down to this fog light, and the long one is going to go over to there. So that's easy. Is that stressful, Gary, or is that all right?
That's fine. That's
fine
fine.
with them two. Right. The red one. Right, I'm going to have to go remember what all these do. Right, I think they've got some instructions. So let me just read up what these do, and then we'll talk you through slowly what each one of these does. Right, important note. When I do this video now, you'll notice that I put the green to the right hand side of the car as per this picture. That's not correct. Do not do what I did and follow the instructions. It's vice versa. So the green should go onto the left hand headlight, and the grey should go onto the right hand headlight. Sorry about that, but I will make a note and put clear instructions. So in this video I will do it wrong, but it's only because I'm following the instructions. Okay, so these do come with some instructions, and basically I'll talk you through the wires. But the red and the black go straight onto the battery, and it will use the red wire to detect when you start the car. It will go from 12 volts to 14 volts as your alternator charges, and that will help the DRL come on. We've also got an ignition live, which we are going to connect into a fuse, and that's the blue wire. Then you've got, to make the side lights come on when you turn, the DRL lights, you've got a left and right turn signal, which are your green and your grey, and then the width lamp is your side lamps. And what that will do is that will dim the DRLs when you put your side lights or your headlights on. And then we've got to connect to the fog light wire as well on one side. So let me show you then. So on here, battery negative, battery positive, ignition via a fuse, side light for the white, grey and green left and right indicator, make sure you get those the right way around, and the yellow is going to go to the fog. That's what we're going to do. So we are going to wire it in, we are going to get the lights in, we are then going to get the control module in, and then we'll do the wiring back from that. Right, let's go, Gary, let's get some tools and get these fog lamps out.
Okay.
Right, let's get these fog lights out. So Gary's got one out already. You don't need to open the bonnet, I'm getting ready for the next bit. Right, so if you put your finger around at the top here, there's a little secret hole, and just that allows you to just get your finger behind it and pop it off. You got these little spring clips that hold it on. Sometimes they ping off in there, but you just got to slide them back on if they do. We're lucky there, we got them all out. We done well. Torx T20. You got 3 screws to undo. Yeah, I should have coloured these in orange, but people know where they are. Try not to drop them. There you go. Excuse me. Right, and where's that other one? There's one there. Can't find it, Gary. Where's it gone? Let me have a look. Making this. Oh no, I can't use my phone. Here we go. Right. That's it. I think you got the wrong size Torx. Try not to get it. Try not to drop it. Here it comes. Right. Right. The third one's at the sort of 9 o'clock position. Should have pulled it out. Right, and there we go, and that's the third screw. They're all the same size. So the old fog lights you'll take out are handed left and right. You got the fog light bulb, you squeeze the two there, and look, they do get pretty. Look at that, look at that. It's like a what's the word? The old timing glass thing, isn't it? Hourglass. Look at that. Right then. Okay, so that's that. Gary's done the other one. Next job, we've got to whip the grill off. Right, put those down. 1, 2, 3. I'll do it right. Here we go. You got to grab the bottom and give it a good pull. 1, 2, 3. Ah, look at that. Held on with these little poppery bits. Sorry, the alarm's going off. Someone's going out the door. Right. And we've got to move the headlights. You got this little tab here. Pull it up, but sometimes you've got to wiggle it up and down a bit. So there you go. To align the. That's it. I'll show you those in a minute. You got to push on that. Little pull on the wire will release that. So these, what you're doing, make sure you're looking at the hole here. You got to make sure it lines up. And that's how you lock it. Sometimes when you pull them up, they go up a bit far. So you'll feel when it's right and it'll pop off. That's one headlight out the way. Press on the top. Off. Right. Headlights out the way. Why do we need to take those out? Because we're going to have to route the cable round to the control module around over the top. There. Right. It's got that fog light out, got that out. Right, now we can start getting the fog lights swapped over. Right, so we've got to remove the old brackets. So just take that one off. That one off. Right, now what have we got going on here? So we've still got it connected by the adjuster. Okay, I think if we just unscrew that, it'll come out. They do latch on a little bit. There you go. The other side's gone back on now. Alright, here we go. Right, so that's the old bracket off. Okay, we've got that remaining in there. So again, make sure you've got the right one. So in there it says L, you can't read it, but on the inside of that circuit board in there, there's an L. So we need the bracket that says left hand side. Right, and then we need to get that round on the back, like so. Okay, we just double check that. Is that the same as that one, Gary? Yeah. Right, and then we can get the... Right. Then we put this on. In the bag, we'll kit up with it. You've got some little nuts here. And what this nut is going to go over here, but we've got to put it through the black bit first. Alright, so let me just check I'm getting this right. So it goes as far from the silver bit through the silver bit. That's it, sorry, I got that wrong. Through the silver bit first. And this is the height adjuster, so this will allow us a little bit of height adjustment of the fog light if we want to adjust the beam height. There we go. I'll make sure it comes through that. There we go. And then by locking that nut up there, you can lock that up with a spanner. You will lock that in position. Okay. So you want it nominally straight there. You can tweak it later if you need. Right. So there we go. So that's the bracket ready to go. So again, that's the left hand. So this is going to go in the left hand side of the car, which is here. So, right. We will need to connect to this in a minute, but for now, in fact, let's do the wiring next. So we've got the left one ready, and we've got the right one ready. So we'll put those on the correct side so we don't get it mixed up. And then we'll embark on starting to put the wiring in. So, I sold him up by these two. The long one needs to go round over to the right hand side, okay? So we are going to thread it. Right, I'm going to mount the control box on the inner wing there. So that's going to come there. I could come under here, actually. Get the headlights out of the way. Feed that in. And then I can dump it underneath. Pass it under it. And I'm going to go across the top of this. Thank you, Gary. Alright, so that should give me a pull there. That's it. Now, there is another wire that needs to go over to this side for the right hand indicator. So I'm going to check which one's the right hand indicator and put that wire across with it. And in fact, it might even be a good idea if you were doing it actually to tape it together. So on the circuit board, it says here, so the indicator right is the green wire. Okay, so the green wire here, I'm going to take that, I'm going to redo that now, and I'm going to take this green one and tape it to the, I guess we could try and pass it through, but I think that's going to be too hard, so we'll just tape it to the outside of this one. What do you reckon, Gary?
Yeah, sounds
good. It would have been cleverer if they'd have put it in, because they'd have known. So what we've done is we've taken the green wire, which is the right hand indicator wire, and I've taped that to the long right hand loom, because we're going to have to pass them both across the front of the car, so it seems to make sense to just tape it over that other one. Right, now where I'm going to mount this here, I'm going to mount this in this little cubby hole here. Okay, we've got plenty of room and it's out the way. We've got to watch this. If you've got the auxiliary heater, this will be the exhaust and it'll be hot. So we'll make sure none of the wires get near that. Right, so I'm going to take this one here. I'm going to go in through the big hole. And I'm going to come out through. I could go out through either side of the bottom. I'll go around that side. Thank you, Gary. Give that a pull.
We're going to go...
No, leave it. Just dangle it down for now, Gary. And then let's concentrate on... In fact, we'll leave that there. But when it's finished, we're going to tuck it in there. Let's get the wires routed. So if you put your hand in the fog light, you can get your hand to there. And then back up again. And we should have room to go across the front of all of this. And hopefully that should reach over to the lights down there. Have we got just about enough? Yeah, look at that, perfect. And then we can get that one connected, ready for bolting in later. And that should click when we push it in. Wow, look at that. Right, worry about bolting that in later. And that one's going to go onto the back of the headlight here. So again, we can tuck that. I think we'll probably lash it onto those there. Look, we've got some wires here. We'll cable tie that. Right, we'll do that in a minute. Right, okay. Let's get the left hand loom routed the same way. So through the hole here, next to that other one. Okay. Right, am I going to trap that white wire there? Careful, let's get it all neat. Yeah, and there we go, that's that one. And maybe you decide not to bolt them up until you've actually checked all the functions work. Otherwise you'll be in and out. It might be worth getting it all wired up, test it on the floor here before you put everything back. Might be a good idea. Right, the next one is the grey indicator wire. I'm just going to shorten it because and this is for the left hand indicator. Then again I'm going to route this one the same route through behind there. Oh. I mean the hands of a small child. Right then. And then that one is going to go on the back of here in due course, and we'll go through that. Right. So what have we got now? Well, we're whittling it down. Are you scared now, Gary? Are you feeling less scared?
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're getting there. He's not committing. Right, and let's have a look. We've got that one going in. So blue we need to find an ignition live for. And we're going to do that off a fuse. Red, battery. Now, I'm going to take the next two. Right, and we're going to go to the fog light with these because we can actually pick up an earth from the fog light. So I'm going to get the green and black. I'm going to just find a little bit of conduit to put these in. So we're going to have a rummage around. We're going to run those out through here and down to this fog light connector that should be lurking around in here somewhere. And we're going to connect onto this one. So I've just got some of this trunking. You can buy this trunking, sleeving, trunking. I don't know what else they call it, sheath, insulation. Right, now we've got that, but we're not going to use that. You could connect this onto this earth terminal here. Okay, but I want to try and minimise the number of wires I've got sort of exposed. So I'm going to, as I've got to go down to this fog light connector here, one of these, the black one is earth and the other one is fog light. I'm going to go down and connect onto those. So I'm going to get those. Right, have we got enough for both of those yet? I'm going to cut them both the same length there. Right. Check that looks the right length, Gary. Whoa, spot on. Right, it's just a question of whether these will feed through here.
Right, there you go.
Oh, that wasn't a shriek of delight, Gary. Right then. There you go, that's neat. That's like a professional would do that.
Yeah, looks good.
Oh, fire alarm. don't panic, we're still alive. They were just doing the testing. Right then. So again, we've got to go the same route as everything else has gone. Out through there. Out through there. Right, and then that can go down. Out the bottom of there. And then that's ready. That's them two ready to connect onto those two. You can see I've already started to prepare here and strip the wire back. Right, but don't worry about that. Right, we're good. Right, let's see how scared Gary is now. What have we got now, Gary?
Yeah, cool. Was that a couple of wires left?
A couple of wires left. Now, right then. The blue was ignition live and the red is battery positive. So the one we're adrift on now, if I'm not mistaken, we've got the grey, which is left-hand indicator, and we've got the white, which is side lights. Now actually, the white and the grey have both got to go to the headlight. So I'm actually going to put a bit more of that sleeve in. I'm so delighted with that sleeve in. I'm going to put the white and the grey in a bit of sleeve in, and then we can take that down, and that will join up with the back of that, yeah?
Yep.
Right. So yeah, we've got the white, which is the side light, and the left-hand indicator wire together in a little bit. And we've decided we've got a big roll of this, so we're going to cut 2 meters of this roll off if you buy this kit from us. And we'll put the link below in the comments to if you want to buy it. Right. And then that leaves us 2, Gary. We're down to 2.
Yeah.
You feeling relaxed?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Right. So we have got an inline fuse here. Let's just check there's actually a fuse in it. I have seen these before where they give you the fuse holder. I can work out there's a hinge that side. Get a little. Oh, how's that? Oh, I've got to get under there. That's it. Ugh, blimey. I'm going to break my nails. That's it. So yeah, there we go. We've got a fuse. What number? 30 amp.
Yeah, 30.
No, I'm going to change that. 30 amps way too much for some LED. That wire's going to melt before 30 amps kicks in. I think we're going to put a 10 amp fuse in there. Yeah, right. So we'll whip that out and we'll put a 10 amp fuse in there, right? But in the meantime, these 2 wires need to go up into this junction box. So we're going to get those roughly. It's going to need a bit more because it's going to be tucked in that hole. But I mean, if I go to there, and we'll put a little bit of that sheath. And we reckon you'll need 2 meters in all, don't we, Gary?
Yeah.
I'm going to cut that there. We'll get another little bit on that, and then we'll come and connect them up here. Right, so I've got the only 2 I need to go into the fuse box, the red and the blue. I'm going to just tuck that unit now. We can tuck in there. We've swapped that fuse, so that can all tuck in there out the way. I think we might put a bit of foam or something in there, or we could try and cable tie it to this front bit here, just to stop it rattling around. But to be honest, it's pretty well jammed in there. Especially if we put some cable. We'll cable tie all these bits together coming down here so they're all neat and together. That'll look nicer, won't it?
Yeah.
Right. Let's get back to the job in hand. So we've got to be careful around that. I think we're probably better off coming high because we've got to stay away from this. So I think I might come the other side of that. That looks neat, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And then we're going to go through this little gap here. There's a little foamy gap there. Look. All right, when you just push that there. I might even go under that there just to keep it from springing up. Right. Then we are gonna get the positive onto one of these here. These small, we'll get a little crimp on there, and then we're going to use a little fuse connector to connect this one into that 10 amp fuse there, which I believe is ignition positive, but let me just double check. Right, so on the red wire we are gonna add a little crimp to go over there. So careful when you're working near a connected battery, that's live. Right, so crimping it, we're going to get some wire strippers or some pliers or whatever. Oh, that one there. There we go. Put that back. Now, we might be able to double it over. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So we're going to supply these. Gary's found these in the warehouse. Let me see if I can double it over. If I can double it over and get it in, it'll be really good. No, ain't gonna be that lucky. Messed it up. Alright. Well, that'll do it. Yeah. Okay. Right. There you go. Can we see him coming out the end yet? Just about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, and then I've got my ratchet crimpers. These are cool. And we're going to do it on the red, because it's a red crimp. We're going to do it on the red gauge. Gary hasn't seen these before. We might have done. We had these out before, Gary?
Yeah, a long while back.
Right. And then that should give me the positive. And we'll give that a little tug just to check he's on good. Right. And then actually, let's leave it connecting it up till later, because we've still got to do all the other connections there. Let's just get these all ready. Then we're going to connect into this. We did check that. This one here, I believe it's fuse 25 with the 10 amp. You got that, Gary? Yeah, well done. And what we're going to do is we're going to put that in. Then we're going to put the 10 amp fuse we took out of there and back in there. But I remember these from before. They're tight as you like. Oh, I'm going to get that up. Gosh. There you go, make sure I get. Right, we'll put another one in there in a minute. That's going to go back in there. And again, we've got a little bit of crimping to do. So that's quite almost colour coordinated, look. The beluga. But that blue, I think we will have to double this one over. Because obviously the blue is intended for a slightly bigger cable. Right, let's double that over. Just on the blue setting this time. Right, there we go. So the way this works is it piggybacks into there. It's got your original, this lower fuse does the original circuit, but then it also takes the power, goes to our secondary fuse we're going to supply, and then it'll power up this. But this one here is the ignition live, and this one here is the permanent live. Right, let's get down and do some soldering. Right, I'm choosing to solder the wires that we've got to solder on here. You could scotch block them on, which are those little blocks that sort of, you get the two wires and it puts a little razor blade across the two. But I'm going to go for solder. I'm going to go semi-pro. So I've peeled that back. I'm going to do this one. Try not to do them at the same level, because then if any reason they touch together, you're going to be having some fun. So I'm going to go a little bit further up for the other one. I'm going to put just a little notch in it there. And then I should get enough to better push a bit that way, just to get on enough to put a loop round it and solder it. So I go and pull a little bit back this way. Look, there we go. That's not looking too bad, is it? Push a bit back up there. It springs back a bit, but we should be alright. Right, and then let's get some solder on those. Oh, we need to strip the other ends of the wires. So where's the two wires we've got coming to this one then? They should be in here ready for me. Nope. Where's my wires gone? Oh, yeah, it might be worth putting a bit of tape around the end of the conduit when you put it through. Let's just snip. So this is going to be my fog light wire, the yellow one, and my black ones. Yeah, okay. So black to black. That's easy, isn't it, Gary? We can manage that. Make sure we try and get around a bit of that. We have to make sure we get plenty of heat on that. Okay. Now you could put some heat shrink sleeving down here if you're super pro, and then slide it up over the joint. But let me just reach over you here, Garrett. We're doing it semi reasonable, semi quickly. Put some solder on there. I'm going to put it on around the back. It would help if I could see. Where's Harry when you need him? Harry's our pro in-house solderer. I think I'm burning the back of that other bit of wire there. yeah. Right, and I'll do the same with the other wire, and then we'll tape that up. Right, so I've got those done. Just put a bit of tape around each of those individually, and then I'll tape up the whole. Oh, that's not very pretty. Tape up the whole lot. And then we can just take that back up there then, and that'll be a bit neat up. Now obviously this connector now isn't used. It could be, we could revert to the, we haven't done anything here that stops the functionality of the original fog light. So it may also be worth wrapping this or putting some grease in those pins to stop them corroding, because obviously they're exposed to the water now. They weren't before. I did see an Osram set of lights once that came with a little dummy plunger you could plug in there. That don't look too bad.
No.
We haven't got any of the wires exposed, so that's all. So yeah, I'll just put a bit of tape over that just to stop water getting in that, and then we'll put that side ready to go together. Right, we're ready to connect the green connector now. On the headlight connector, you've got this, and it's the green and white wire here that we need to connect to. So we're going to do the same again. We're just going to strip that back just enough to get that wire in. You don't really want to cut through it if you can. Oh, like a pro. Right. Get that wire with. Oh. Okay, let's get some solder on that. Oh, forgot my solder. Where's the solder?
Is it there?
Right. Oh, here he comes. Right, get in the light a little bit. I need a cup of tea. Do it around the back a bit as well, just try and get that solder to get in. Right, after that, solder nice same. Take that up. I'll go around the actual thing itself there. Try and keep the water out of it, and then I'm going to tape it all back into the loom a bit. There we go, almost looks factory-like. Nothing too right. What we got left, Gary?
It's the ones at the top.
And that other headlight, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. So again, we're on the left-hand side now. This indicator, the other one was green and white. This one's green and red. It's in that third pin there. And right next to it, we've got this. Now that's red with a black stripe, isn't it? As opposed to black with a red stripe. Give us a bit more width on that. And that's the side light, or width lamp as they call it in the Chinese instructions. Right, so we'll solder. So the grey is the indicator, and then the white is onto the side light. So we'll do that. You don't want to watch me do that again. And then we'll take that up, and then we'll come and do the last ones at the top there. Right, so that's that one all connected. Now we're up here. I'm going to leave the positive to last. We're going to plug our little fuse connector in. We haven't got to get that other fuse, Gary. We've got that in just a second. We need to try and tuck this as neatly as we can with it. It's going to sit in the side of there for me.
Looks alright.
That looks right, doesn't it? Let's have that positive out of there. And I can back that up a bit there, can't I? Right, yeah. And then that's it. Then we'll come over the top there. Ooh. Right, carefully. I'm going to go on that back one. I think that's going to. So that's that 8mm socket. Don't put it down on top of there. Always barking. Right then. Because where's the battery cover lid come? It's sort of... It wants to all be inside there, really, doesn't it? I don't want to really route that over there more, do I? And you might have to slide between those little... What do you reckon into that? Semi-neat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Careful you don't hit any metal with that. I think I had that one loose earlier, didn't I? Right. Right, now the moment to see if everything works. We should be connected there. We don't need to put the headlights on actually, because it'll take the signals. The car might get a bit upset, but at least we can check our fog lamp. Get those ready. Right, we're not going to try them yet because actually we don't want to mess the car up without putting headlights on, and also I want you to see the function when we indicate what happens. So we've put the headlights in, we've gone along here and we've cable tied that. We've done some cable management, cable tied it up around there. When we just got the headlights resting, so don't worry where they're pointing. We will project them on the door in a minute, but let's just do a quick check. Always better to check stuff before you put it all back together finally. Right, Gary, can you do the ignition, please? Way, there we go. We got both lights on, and you've got that funky C shape going on, which is cool. Right, Gary, can you do the side lights, please? Right, so what you'll notice there is that's disabled the DRLs and put the side lights on. Right, can you put the fog lights on, please, Gary? Yeah, so you'll see now the different section, the inner sections come on the fog lights. Right, can you turn the fog lights off, Gary? And the side lights off? And can you indicate, please? So you see what it does when you're indicating, it disables. Right. Oh. Right, can you indicate, please, Gary? So you'll notice we've got the indicators cross-wired. Now, that's because the instructions are wrong. So I'll make sure I do a bit at the start of this video that the instructions are wrong, and we'll put a little note to amend them. But it's supposed to flash with the indicator, you can see there. Right. Anyway, we'll fix that. Right, the last feature, turn the ignition off, Gary. What happens is you can get out the car and it's got a follow me home feature, so the lights will stay on in a follow me home feature. So here's the job finished. We have bolted the fog lights in. Notice when they're the DRLs went. Notice when they're in correctly, you've got the C shape going towards the middle on both of them. We had a slight problem with the previous ones where the C was facing the same way rather than into each other. It's hard to see on that. Right, they're on there. Right, so do you want to put the ignition on, Gary? So that's the ignition on. Right, side lights. That kills the fogs. Kills the DRL, sorry. Fog lights on. Right, and I promised I'd show you the fog light beam pattern. So you can see there, I can turn the lights off to make it a little bit better. But you can see that's a perfect fog beam pattern now. Just flat right across though, which is a little better than the previous version that we did. If you did buy the previous version and you want to swap over to this version, let me know and I'll sort that out. But let me know quickly because we haven't got many sets available. We will get more in. Anything else we need? Oh, indicators. So if you indicate, it flashes here. And then if you indicate the other side, why don't you put your hazards on, Gary? That's pretty trick, that is. Right, so there we go. So that is the LED fog lamp DRL upgrade. And if you turn it all off, Gary, can we see that follow me home? So we reckon that's the best kit out there at the moment. You've got all your DRL auto dimming. You've got your follow me home light, so they'll stay on. It's quite a while actually. It's about 30 seconds they stay on. I'm not going to talk for that long. And you can see the DRL patterns, just a general spread. So, good luck with that. Anything to add, please put it in the comments below. Thank you very much. Good luck with that.